podcast within a podcast, your favorite source of fan news.
That is correct.
All right.
Where you get all the wrestling news you need to know. Honestly, nothing too big happened in the world of pro wrestling. That being ironic because I'm going to talk about one of the largest men in professional wrestling, Braun Strowman. So, Crown Jewel happened, which is the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, and with Crown Jewel, um, there was a match between Braun Strowman and Omos, two very large men, basically just crashing into each other over and over again. It was better than most people expected it to be, especially for Omos being not that great of a wrestler. He's getting better. Now, after this was over, Braun Strowman goes to Twitter and he's like, "Hey, Omos, we did it. Look at us. It's true. The biggest men are the best wrestlers in the world. Nobody wants to see the smaller guys that should be bagging your groceries doing some bullshit." And then everyone else in the world was like, "Hang on, bro. Hang on a second, Braun Strowman. You need to shut the fuck up." So yeah, so he said all that. Wrestling fans are just going ham on him, just saying shit. Wrestlers themselves from WWE and other companies were like, "Bro, shut the fuck up." Mustafa Ali even said, "Hey, can you remind me again? How do I get fired by WWE?" So
Oh
all that
wow!
happened, and then he came,
Shots fired.
yeah, and then Braun Strowman was just like, "All right." He said some shit to Ali. I forgot what it was. Probably wasn't that cool. And then Strowman comes out. He's like, "No, it's all good. I'm sorry, guys. I guess you guys took it personally. Do I now have to pay Elon Musk $8 to say this?" So that was his reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a little story. If you want to jump over to the next one. Also, before I forget, this is Wrestle Talk News by Connell Rumsey. This story. All right, so MJF a little while ago, I said he was auditioning for a movie when he was over in Vegas or he went to Hollywood. I forgot what it was. Looks like he was actually in the works to play a character in the Iron Claw biopic. So this is going to be a movie made about the Von Erich family, probably the Curse of the Von Erichs. This is a famous wrestling family from back in the '80s in Texas, where almost all of them died due to suicide or different things. He's going to be playing as. Don't tell me I forgot the name. The non Von Erich Von Erich. They got this one guy to pretend to be part of the family, Kevin Von Erich, and looks like MJF's going to play him. Um, so that's cool. It is what it is. Not the biggest news story, but the reason why I brought this in is because I want to talk about the next slide, Eslam. Also, this is another Wrestle Talk episode by Connell Rumsey. Now, the next slide,
Oh,
another
I
person
saw
that's going to
this.
be in the
Okay.
movie is Zac Efron, who is going to be playing Kevin. No, I just said Kevin. No, Zac Efron is Kevin Von Erich. MJF is going to be playing the other Von Erich. What's his name? It's the Von Erich no one liked. That's why I can't remember it. But anyway, Zac Efron with his funny outfit and hair is going to play Kevin Von Erich. I think he's the only Von Erich still alive from that generation. His
Damn.
sons do wrestle now. Everyone else, the father, everyone else passed away. All his brothers, sadly. They had one brother who went to WWE and wrestled for a little bit. Turns out he was having a little problems with wrestling while he was out there. The man had half a foot and nobody knew. So he would just like wear a boot
That's wild.
and he would wrestle with like a foot and a half, and still be able to go out there and wrestle like day in and day out, which is insane to me. I believe that was Kairi Von Erich. But yeah, if you want to go to the next one, Esla. All right, so this one, another Wrestle Talk news story by Connell Rumsey. This man's just been going hard with the news. So Nick Aldis recently got suspended from NWA. We don't know if that means he's officially done or not. NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, is being run by Billy Corgan, uh, member of the Smashing Pumpkins, like I alluded to earlier, Eslam, with that song.
Hmm.
And he runs NWA. He's been doing so for years. And Nick Aldis has basically been the face of the company. This was the top wrestling promotion back in the day, which has slowly been trying to come back. And it's getting better here and there. They had some lulls because of the COVID, and they're starting to get better. But throughout all that, Nick Aldis was the face of the company. Now, a little while ago, they did an entire show dedicated for like women's of wrestling. WWE had done it a few years back, and it was a pretty good success. NWA is like, hey, we want to do that. We want to represent women's indie wrestlers because there's a lot of good women wrestlers out there. Let's do that. The numbers weren't that great. Once again, this was during the COVID era, so it wasn't too numbers wise. I don't know if it drew too much money. There were really good matches. It was a good show overall. And Billy Corgan went on record saying something along the lines of, "Hey, this didn't draw too much, so chances we're not going to do this. I feel like women's wrestlers can't really, you know, headline like that." Now, I could be taken out of context. Definitely check out the story by Colin Russell to be 100% sure. And then he went on to talk about Mickey James being the wife of Nick Aldis. So Nick Aldis went out and said a whole bunch of shit on Twitter, talking about like, Billy Corgan sucks, NWA is trash, this, that, and the other. So he's now suspended, and we don't know what that means. We don't know if he's going to be, you know, if he's going to be forced to work without pay, or if they're going to keep him at home and pay him to stay home. We don't know what's going to happen. But as of right now, Nick Aldis, the face of NWA, is going to be suspended.
I'm sorry. Next slide.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Now this is another one. Talk about headlining women's wrestling. So New Japan Pro Wrestling and Stardom is going to do this crossover. Stardom being the top women's Japanese wrestling promotions, NJPW being the top men's promotion. And this is actually called Stardom Historic Crossover because it's Japanese, and that's what they do when they come up with names of things. And the headliner is not going to be any of the men. There are men fighting on the card, but the main event is Mayu Iwatani versus Kairi, formerly known as Kairi Sane, in the WWE, fighting for the IWGP Women's World Championship. So this is a story by Wrestle Talk and written by SP3. Now, I'm not going to go into details. They talk about how important this is to have them headlining such a huge show in Japan with men on the card, but the women are in the top main event. So if you guys want to check that out, definitely go on to Wrestle Talk, read about it, and see what they got to say. But this is a huge deal. This is going to be a huge match, and these are two phenomenal wrestlers, two of the best wrestlers in the world by far, with Mayu Iwatani and Kairi. Eslam, next one, please. And this is the last one. So this one's not so much of a news story; it's more of a recap. So, like I was saying earlier with the first news story, Crown Jewel happened, the Saudi Arabia show. Overall, it was a Saudi Arabia show. It had good moments, but it wasn't the greatest show. The main event being Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, who I forgot to type in his last name in the top there, for the Universal World Championship. Surprisingly, a really good match, and it's funny because a lot of people are upset about having to say this. Logan Paul is a goddamn really good pro wrestler. Like this is like his third match, and he's proven he's good. Like there's no denying, like the man's good. So he went out there. He and Roman put on a great show. Also, Roman's a great wrestler, so he's also helping him look good. But you could tell, like Logan Paul, obviously he's very athletic. Yeah, he's out there. He's put on one hell of a show. Man's kicking ass.
Nice.
But, yeah, man. So they went out. Jake Paul got involved. So did people on Logan Paul's podcast. Roman Reigns being part of the Samoan dynasty, the bloodline, all his brothers and cousins and everybody, they came out. It was all chaos. Everything was going on. In the end, Roman Reigns comes out on top, stays champ. But there are moments where they're like, oh my God, they might actually put the world title on Logan Paul. Like, that almost happened. But, no, man, overall, it was a great, great match between the two. And at the end, I think Logan Paul was injured. I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying stuff with the, like, ACL or MCL. I don't know, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. But, yeah, man, overall, it was a great, great match between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great picture.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that has to be the picture.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I got for PBW this week. Not too much.